When I was 15, my mom told me to move out because she wanted to keep drinking. I remember it was during COVID time, and that was a pretty hard time for our family, a lot of uncertainty. And I remember my mom, she was a night drinker, but it slowly turned into being a day drinker, and then it kind of just took over her life. And with that being the case, it brought on a lot of hard experiences being home. We went through a lot of hard things, and I couldn't do it any longer. So I remember going to my mom. I lived in the basement. I said, "Hey, Mom, I want to talk to you." So she came down in my room, and I remember looking at my mom and saying, "Mom, I love you, but I don't like who you are when you drink. And I don't like how I feel when you drink. And I don't like being home when you drink." And I was obviously pretty emotional when I told her this. And I remember she was sitting there, and she was pretty emotional, and she looked up and she said, "You're welcome to leave." And I knew in that moment my mom loved me. And I learned that with addiction, it doesn't mean that someone doesn't love you. It just means that the thing that they're fighting is louder than anything else in their life. And so I did. I moved out. And shortly after that, I started going to AA meetings, and I went to AA meetings for about 3 years. And I call them my second family. Like, I learned more about myself in that time than I ever have doing almost anything else. And I remember at that point, my mom, whenever she would relapse, she would call me. And I remember going to AA meetings with my mom and just sitting there and holding her hand. And she would be shaking. And I remember just telling her, "Don't quit. Don't give up. Because I know the only way you lose is if you quit." And so fast forward to today, and my mom has moved to Florida, and she's gotten a job. She's gone back to college, and she's been sober for about 430 days. And she's one of the biggest inspirations for me in my life. I wouldn't be who I am without her. And I asked her if I could share this story. And I hope that this inspires you to be patient with the people you love. And that if you've been rejected by someone, it's probably because they're fighting a battle that you can't see. And loving someone doesn't mean that you have to fix them. Sometimes it just means you treat them like a human. So be patient, be loving, open your arms, and hold space for those people that are trying to do better, and be patient with yourself. So I hope this helps someone who sees it.